What's up, you guys? Hope you guys have been doing well. So today we're going to talk about some of the best CryptoBlade secrets so that you can maximize your profits in this game. So a lot of these tips are more well known. However, some of these tips are a little bit more nuanced. So these could help all kinds of people in the community, whether you're starting out or you've been going at this for a while. So let's get into them. So first, this applies to a lot of the new people. Don't invest more than what you can afford. So assume that you will lose everything. So especially in these more desperate times and in these kind of games where you build a lot of emotional attachment, whether that be interacting with the community, it may be easy to put more funds than what you can lose. However, at the end of the day, this is a high risk, high reward kind of play right here, right? So many things could go wrong. There's constantly exploits by other people, and there may be even more exploits in the future where the token value could go to zero, the developers lose or leave, and etc. So don't put more into this, into what you can lose. If you get to certain points where you can slowly take profits, feel free to do that. However, just know that this won't get you super rich quick. Maybe it can, however, just assume that it won't and you will lose everything. That way you can approach this with a more calm mind. All right, second tip is to really engage with the community to be in the know. So you can do quite a bit yourself. However, you'll do a lot more if you're able to interact with others and be part of the team, right? So being in the know means like you get to know the latest updates, you get to know the best tips by interacting with the chat, and you get to know the latest features. So a lot of these developers like Krogate and Surya, they do different streams in which they tell people about future updates. They do giveaways too. Or you can follow other really good YouTubers like Dexter, Melos, and FTGG, where they personally look at these and then they recap them. And you can follow the different social medias like YouTube, Reddit, Discord for tracking the market sentiment, so how everyone feels about the game. So this is a great indicator. So for the past week and a half, everyone was extremely bearish. There was FUD everywhere. So that's where I went a lot heavier in skill, and now skill's at $50. I'm slowly taking profit when before I was buying in at $30. And if everyone is extremely euphoric, such as when skill was at $150, where people thought, oh, it's going to go to 300, 500, even though it went 150x, that's the perfect time to take profits or to wait until it dips before you added more money. And the last thing would be to scan GitHub every few days for future updates. So let's click on it right now. So you can see that through GitHub, they have a to-do list: in progress, need to review, merge ready, done, etc. So this is actually the real-time progress of CryptoBlades being developed. So if you're able to keep track of this every few days and to see the progress, you can get ahead of people to really find the best tips, to find your best play. For example, maybe you'll know that raids will come out a bit earlier in time, so you can prepare for that earlier. Maybe you know that there might be a promotion coming. Maybe you might know that other features will come out, so you'll be ready to take advantage of that. The third tip, which would apply a lot to the monster grinding mode, would be to calculate your ROI to decide the best opportunities between weapons versus characters. So the market fluctuates, in which there are a lot of arbitrage opportunities in which you can pick either of these to make the most gains. So let's go over the first scenario. The first scenario could be like there's mass panic after the price dips. So people start selling their level 31 characters for super cheap. So maybe the ROI is like around 25 days to get your money back with a cheap 2-star weapon, while 4-star weapons remain the same. So maybe their ROI is like 35 days. So the more obvious option would be to pick the level 31, which you'll get back your gains a lot quicker as they're a lot cheaper. The second one, which is currently going on right now, is maybe there's like a big forging promotion event, which people create a bunch of really cheap 4-star weapons. So maybe the ROI on getting the weapon added to your old accounts would be 25 days, which will gain back your money with the weapons, while maybe the game becomes a bit more popular, people start selling off their characters for a lot more skill, so the RI becomes 35 days now. So the better option would be to pick the cheap 4-star weapon to put it into your old accounts, as opposed to buying a new set of characters, as their return will be a lot later. All right, fourth tip would be to trade the cycles of skill and BNB. So you can use an awesome app called CoinMarketCap, which will send you notifications at key levels. For example, if skill goes down to 25, 40, 55, 70, etc., maybe BNB goes to 260, 290, 320, 350, etc. So this allows you to get the best opportunities. So what you can do with this is that maybe the market is a little bit overheated like it is right now. You wait for BNB to dip a lot more, and then during that time you buy a bunch of BNB so that you don't have to pay for BNB a lot more later. And whenever skill dips down hard, instead of selling them off more frequently, which is what most people do, you hold and stake skill a lot more so that you can accumulate more skill. And then whenever skill recovers and it rips up, you take profits a lot more frequently. So that way, maybe you farmed a bunch of skill when it was around $30, and then it rips up to $50 like it is right now. Maybe it goes to $80, $100 later, and then you could literally double or triple your gains, even though at the current times, maybe the earnings calculator said 130, but then you were very patient, you held on to it, and then you sold it for $390 profit. So that ties into the emotional aspect of trading. So most people are very emotional. Well, everyone is. However, some people are able to better manage that. So for most people, during a big dip down, 95% of people panic sell. And during a big rip up, 95% of people hold it for too long. However, you want to do the opposite of this, right? So whenever there's a big dip down, you want to accumulate more skill, hold on to more. And whenever skill rips up, even though it's very tempting to hold on to skill because maybe you think it's going to move a little bit longer, it's a lot smarter to slowly or more frequently scale out of skill. So that could be like 10 to 20% of your overall skill position. And maybe when skill is more beaten down, like it gets corrected, it's like 50% or something, then you just only sell 5% per day or none at all. Which ties into the fifth tip of continuously taking profits. So it's very tempting to have an all or nothing approach. However, this approach is dangerous as you can't time the top and you can't time the bottom perfectly. So what you can do is that you can scale it. So maybe when things are extremely bearish, 30% goes to fees, you do less safer investments, but you reinvest and you hold on to skill more. So 20% reinvest, 20% holding on to skill with that moon bag, and 10% investing to other things, as there is a big opportunity in CryptoBlades when it's a lot cheaper. So maybe in the middle, you pay a little bit less in fees as you take profits a little bit more frequently. So safer investments, that gets bumped up from 20 to 25% as you're making more profit. Then you reinvest a little bit less in CryptoBlades as it is more expensive. And then you start investing a little bit more into other businesses, and you reduce your skill swing moonbag position. And then when things are extremely bullish, you can pay less in fees as you take more profits, and then you bump up your safer investments by a lot to accumulate into that. And then maybe when skill dips a lot harder, you can take profits on those safer investments and then reallocate them to skill. Then you reinvest the skill a little bit less too, as things are a lot more expensive. So maybe it jumps up to $150 and then you're earning less skill, and then it corrects 80%. So you lost 80% of that skill and value as it's dumped. And then you bump up your investing to other businesses too, as skill isn't as, it's still profitable, but it would be probably more profitable to invest into other businesses that are beaten down too. And then for your skill moonbag, you can either have like almost nothing if it's super euphoric, but maybe you can have a little bit like 5% just in case it gaps up even further. Alright, so here are a bunch of bonus tips just to throw them out there if you all want to see. So only levels 11, 21, 31, etc. as those levels are the ones where you gain like extra 1,000 power, 2,000. If you level up from level 7 to 8, for example, it's only like plus 10, plus 20 power. So you can use this tool right here in this link, which you add your accounts, and then they'll automatically let you know when to level. Then B is to search up MetaMask numbers for faster scrolling. For example, you could scroll down here, or you can just look up, oh, you want to look for, you can combine this with the tracker, right? So you can look at the trackers so that you can see which ones need battles. So your 8 needs battle, so you look up 8 and it automatically pops up. And then you look to the tracker, oh, maybe 14 needs more BNB, so you add more BNB, etc. C is to wait for the next hour if there are bad enemies. So maybe you look at the CB tracker and then you only have a 50% chance at beating all these opponents. You just wait till the next hour when the enemies reset so that you can gain a better chance to beat them. And then you can fight around 7.5 battles per day by keeping your battles between 12 hours apart. So first day you can do 160 stamina in the morning, 120 at night. Next day you do 160 in the morning, then 160 at night, and that is the most optimal. And there's a link for trading weapons and characters. And then you can play with multiple tabs per browser, per account. So 4 tabs in one browser for each of the 4 characters in your accounts. And then that usually works if it's fast, but maybe if the server is a lot slower, you can use multiple browsers and do the same thing. Then for G, you can pick, so it's usually best to pick the same weapon element of the characters. However, there's a discrepancy in the market where maybe there's different elements, however, the stats are a lot bigger, and at the end of the day, if it has a lot more power, even though the other one has the same secondary elements, that one will be better. For example, maybe there's a water character, and then you can buy a water weapon that has intelligence, which is water, for 290, but dexterity, which is for air, for 315, versus another water weapon, which is intelligence 215 and intelligence 220. So that's almost 170 difference right there, which will add up a lot and will make up for the big difference. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and hope you found that tip useful. So lots of exciting things coming for CryptoBlades, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and talk to y'all next time.